Oh boy, what's up, everybody? It's time for me to get real with y'all. Something I'm not super excited to talk about, but I'm going to because that's what I stand for. I stand for being real with diabetes, telling you guys the real life, telling it like it is. So, today I want to talk to you guys about blood sugars being just a number. Now, obviously, this is easier said than believed, right? You tell someone, hey, it's just a number. Stop beating yourself up over it. But then you go on your phone or your pump or your receiver if you're wearing a CGM of some sorts, or even just a blood sugar check with your glucometer, and you see a bad number. Maybe it's 56. Maybe it's 256. Either way, you feel bad. You feel like you messed up. You feel like you should have prepared better, or you did something wrong, or maybe it's something you ate, or maybe it's the way you exercised, or maybe, and there's all these factors that we start thinking about, right? You start wondering, what did I do wrong? Because clearly, I am the only one that can control my diabetes, and if I can't control it, then that number must be a result of something that I didn't control. Did I eat something wrong? What was it? Thinking back, did I miscalculate that meal? Did I inject too much insulin? Did I not inject enough insulin? And the problem is that while a lot of times it is a direct correlation to actions that we take, for example, a high blood sugar is usually a good indicator that you didn't take enough insulin. But is it always your fault? No, not at all. It will never always be your fault because there are so many factors that can cause fluctuations in blood sugars that it's impossible to keep them all regulated because, especially, some of them you cannot regulate. For example, hormone releasing in your body. You can plan for it if it's a similar activity that you're used to. For example, resistance exercise, i.e., weightlifting, heavy weights. This tends to cause a blood sugar rise in a lot of people. And a few years ago, this was the case for me as well. I used to have to take 2 units of insulin at the beginning of my workouts just to keep from going high. And one time I forgot to give that injection. I ended up at 300. Yeah, that's frustrating. But you know what? I can't control that. The only reason I knew to take the insulin is because it was a common thing that I would do. I would work out with heavy weights. However, there are certain circumstances in life that you cannot plan for. And unfortunately, you got to deal with the blood sugars. But the problem then is that when you see the blood sugars, when you see the 256, do you blame yourself for it and does it ruin your day? Do you feel that it destroys your mood? That is where the problem lies. What it should be in a perfect world is that we see 256, go, okay, this is data. This is data that I'm going to use. I'm going to fix this by giving myself more insulin and maybe go for a walk, some kind of activity to help bring this blood sugar down. But what we usually see it as, 256. Gosh dang it, what did I do wrong this time? I feel sick. I feel nauseous and I am mad at myself because I just cannot seem to figure out these post-meal blood sugars. What's going on? And why am I always messing up? And we just spiral down into this depressing mood of always thinking it's our fault when it might not be. And so I encourage you guys that when you see a number on your blood sugar checker, your phone, your meter, whatever it is, when you see numbers that don't match up to your expectations, that aren't perfect, don't always blame yourself. And even if it is your fault, I want to make this clear because sometimes it is your fault. Even if it is your fault, do not let that dictate your mood for the rest of the day. Do not let that dictate your mood for an hour. You have the power to either allow this to change your mood or to say, okay, this is a data point. That is a number and nothing more. I'm going to do what is necessary to fix that number. That's actually one of the reasons why I want to keep this live a little bit short. I'm going to give you guys a little insight into the real life. Oof. Okay, guys. Well, we just got a bunch of Instagram notifications. Y'all are showing me some love. Thank you. Here is the realness of my Dexcom right now. Waiting for the Dexcom app to load up. Here we go. I'm going to show it to you guys. You ready for this? Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I was cruising. I was in the 90s. I had a unicorn for a while. And right now, 206. It's not cool. I am not happy with that. But you know what? Not going to let it ruin my mood. Not going to let that number dictate how I feel. I'm going to enjoy my night. My wife and I are going to watch Iron Man 3 tonight. I'm going to enjoy that. But before I do, I'm going to fix that. That is a data point. That is a number to me that I can use to change the internal functioning of my body, and I'm going to go for a walk right now. The live I did a couple days ago, and the reason I'm going for a walk before I give insulin, that's a whole nother ballgame, that's a full webinar that I could teach on. Speaking of, remind me, you can't remind me. I'm going to talk to you guys in the end about a webinar, but I'm going on a walk first because I still have insulin on board. What does that mean? I gave insulin recently for a meal. I shouldn't say clearly, I might have eaten my food a little bit too soon. And as a result, I have a blood sugar spike. And I'm going to go for a walk because there's still insulin circulating in my body, and I'm going to hope to activate that with the walk. So I'm going to go for a walk, see if I can bring it down, and whatever it lands on, once I don't have any insulin on board anymore, that's when I'll give my correction, because I like to go to bed on time too. And I don't like seeing an arrow down when I'm going to sleep. You know what I mean? I don't like dropping fast right before bed. So I drop it nice beforehand, get a little walk, then I give my correction, then I can enjoy a peaceful night and go to sleep on time. So I want you guys to know, blood sugar numbers, it's just that. It's a number, it's a data point. It is for you to use to get back into range. If you're low, same exact thing. You shouldn't stop and think about what you're going to do for a long time, because you might be dropping, and you could be dropping fast, and that can be dangerous. However, you will take this data point. Let's say I had slanted down. This was me actually right before dinner, which may have been why I didn't wait long enough to eat. I was slanted down at 70, and I was like, gosh dang it, I don't want to go low. And so I had a little bit of sugar. I had a glucose tablet. We talked about that yesterday. And that glucose tablet helped stabilize me, and then it brought me back up to about 90 when I was able to eat dinner and fully enjoy my meal. So it's about taking the data points that we receive from our blood sugar checkers, our glucometers, our Dexcoms, our Freestyle Libres, whatever you guys are on, and using that data to make small adjustments. So if you're low, eat some sugar. If you're high, take some insulin or go for a walk. There are all these things that we can do to better manage our blood sugars and to not let it ruin our day, to not let it affect our moods. Now, again, this is easier said than believed. It's hard to look at a number and have zero emotion attached. I'm frustrated right now. 206. That's a pretty big number. It's not the worst I've ever seen. Definitely not the best I've seen. I would prefer to be around 120 right now. But I'm not. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a walk. If that walk doesn't bring me down all the way to a healthy blood sugar range, I'm going to then take some insulin. You see? So it's these responsible actions that we take as a result of seeing the data presented to us. So, good job remembering and reminding me. Webinar. So I actually want to do a webinar for you guys where it's more of a scheduled time. Because I know I've been doing these kind of late at night when not a lot of people are able to hop on. And it's due to my full days. But I would like to do a webinar for all of you who have been watching these videos. And I'm going to do it on YouTube on Saturday. I believe I'm going to do it at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. However, all final notices will be given through our email list. So if you are not on our email list, I'm going to type this out. Go ahead and head over to ftfwarrior.com. And on this, at the bottom of the page, you will see a newsletter opt-in. So you can jump in there, get on our email list, and I'll be able to give you guys the info for the webinar. But as of now, it's looking like it's going to be Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to do a webinar. I'll announce the titles and the subjects I'm talking about. And at the end of the webinar, I'll be available for you guys to chat, answer questions. We can talk about diabetes stuff and become best friends. And then I will also be chatting about the Thrive with Diabetes program that we are launching on Monday, which is super exciting. Whew. Monday, we're starting off with a whole new group of people. It's our pilot group, which means this is a group of people that are going through the program for the first time. It's never been seen before, never been talked about, never been experienced, and they're going to help me perfect it. Now, as that pilot group going through, since they are the first group, they're going to be giving me feedback, and I'm going to be giving them a lot of personal attention, which means they're going to get results. So for everybody who is joining, it's going to be a fun time. It will be hard work, and we are going to make sure that you reach your goals. With that being said, if you have not applied yet, or if you have not signed up yet, you can type in this link. Actually, just click this link. I'm going to add it in the comments. Check out that link. That's your application. I'm going over applications myself. I will be accepting people based on that application, and the deadline is Sunday, which means we're getting real close to the end. We've got a few spots left, and I want to make sure that you guys get in on those spots because the program will never be this cheap again. Since this is the first time we're sending people through, we want to give everybody some really good deals. And there's also, I think, 5 or 6 bonuses that we're throwing into the mix for everybody who signs up by Sunday. So that is my announcement for you guys. I hope to see you on the webinar. I will be live tomorrow in here as well, announcing the webinar time again, and making sure you guys get access to that application form for Thrive with Diabetes. So that's it for me tonight. I'm going to go for a walk and try and lower these blood sugars down. Hope you're all having a great time, and I will speak with you all tomorrow. Keep up the fight.